Hello everyone on YouTube, this is Jordan here, and welcome back to another video. So, you are visually impaired, like me. You have no light perception at all, and you've heard about Linux. Brilliant! So what do you want to do? Which Linux distro do you want to switch to? Ubuntu or Mint? Okay, so you've gone online and done some research, and you've heard how brilliant Linux Mint is, and you've heard how bad Linux Mint is. And let me tell you right now, my experiences with Linux Mint are brilliant. And in this video, we are going to be installing Linux Mint. Now, I know what you're asking, but Jordan, Linux Mint doesn't have orca pre-installed, and because it uses Cinnamon. Stop right there. There is an accessible version of Linux Mint. Well, it's not accessible from the start when you boot the thing up. You'll have to enable the feature, which is very easy to do. So I'm going to show you how you can do it. So what you want to do is go in a browser, Google download Linux Mint, select the first option if it appears, download Linux Mint from their official website, and then you'll be given a list of what you want. Now, you've got 3 desktop environments: Cinnamon, XFCE, and Mate, or Mate. I'm going to pronounce it Mate. So go for the Mate one, because that is where you'll find Orca. XFCE is somewhat accessible, but I don't know how much of that is true. So anyway, go ahead and pick the desktop environment you want. So we're going to pick Mate, which I've already gone and done. Next, you'll want to pick a mirror, one that's local to you. And once you've done that, Linux Mint will start downloading. So now what you're going to want to do is burn it to a USB stick using your favorite burning tool. And that is what I've just gone and done. So what we're going to do now is remove our Linux Mint USB. I'm going to remove it from the Mac here and bring it over to the computer that we're going to be installing Mint on. I'm going to be doing this off camera.
Michael, stop record.
And if you're visually impaired, don't worry, I'll tell you what's going on. To turn on Orca, press the Windows key, Alt and S. Alright then, let's get on with it. This will be the same process as we did with Accessible Coconut. Now, if you remember when we did the Accessible Coconut video, we had Linux Mint on here. So this is what we're going to do in the Linux Mint tutorial. Okay, I think we're done. Here we go. Now here's what I do. Because Linux Mint is based on Ubuntu, I press down 3 times. And it should boot the ISO. There we go, it's booting our USB. Okay, so while we wait for that to boot up, I'm going to tell you all the things I like about Mint. Mint allows you to search for software through the search box. So you can install it from there. Something you cannot do in Ubuntu. And it boots up quick as well, does Linux Mint, unlike Ubuntu. So we just wait for it to boot up. Once you know, if you think it's booted up, try pressing Alt, Windows and S until you hear the screen reader turn on. Like I'm going to do in a few secs. Hopefully I've downloaded the right version of Mint. Oh, there we go. Our screen reader is now on. So we've booted into our live Linux Mint 20.1 oolissa. And the first thing you're going to want to do, again, just like Accessible Coconut, press Insert Space. If it'll let me. But we don't seem to be in a. There we go. So we can go into our screen reader preferences here, I think. There we go. Oh no, it's not. We're going to our sound.
Text. Sound selected. Sound change. Sound volume.
There we go. We're in the.
62,973.
Yeah,
control.
That'll do.
And close
And we
push
close.
Return.
We're in a Linux Mint Lab environment at the moment. So what you're going to want to do at this rate is go into our screen reader preferences.
Screen reader preferences dialog. General page tab.
As you can hear, we are using Orca on Linux Mint, and we're in the live environment at the moment. So what you want to do is, it's the same for Accessible Coconut.
Tab. Keyboard layout panel. Desktop.
Keyboard
Select
layout,
right
keeping it as
control.
desktop.
Tab. Progress bar updates panel. Braille up peak updates checkbox not check space.
Check that.
Checked. Tab. Frequency tab. 3 peak braille speak keep general OK push return.
Click on
Screen reader settings reload left control.
And as long as you can hear your installation and you've done what I've told you to do, we'll go ahead and begin the installation. Let me just check I'm recording before we go ahead and do the install.
Microsoft.
And the installation of Linux Mint is a lot quicker than Accessible Coconut, in my opinion. But we'll see how we go. Okay, so now we're on our desktop.
Compute Mint. Install Linux Mint desktop. Right control.
So you want to click Install Linux Mint, press
Return.
Enter on that, and we wait for the installer to launch.
Install frame. Quit push button. Continue push button.
Okay, so select our language. We want English.
Tab. Language selector. Table with 77 rows, 1 column. English.
Yeah.
Tab. Quit push tab. Continue return.
Continue. It's the same.
Table with 98 rows, 1 column. English US.
It's the same as our Accessible Coconut install, except we're using a different distro.
English UK.
So I'm going to go for English UK because that's my language.
Tab. English UK.
I want an English UK keyboard.
Tab. Text. Type here to test your keyboard.
Type here to test my keyboard. That's what we're going to do. Macintosh.
MACINTOSH.
That works.
Tab. Detect keyboard let tab. Quit put tab. Back put tab. Continue push
You want to
button.
click Continue.
Return. I don't want to connect to a right left control.
Wi-Fi network setup.
Connect to this network. Selected radio button. Tab. Qualcomm Atheros QCA 9377 802.11 AC wireless network adapter. Tree level 1. Tab. Quit put tab. Back put tab. Continue push return.
Continue.
Install multimedia codecs checkbox not checked.
We can't install those because it didn't connect us to the internet.
Tab. Quit put tab. Back put tab. Continue push button.
But that's if you want to install the codecs.
Return.
And now it's going to check our disk.
0%.
Standard Linux stuff. It's just like in Ubuntu. Now, since it didn't connect to the internet, we've got other steps.
Install Linux Mint alongside Ubuntu 20.04.2 LTS 20.04. Selected radio button.
So I'm going to delete that.
Erase disk and install Linux Mint. Selected return. Write the changes to disks. Dialog if you continue, the changes listed below will be written to the disks. Otherwise, you will be able to make further changes manually. Warning. This will destroy all data on any partitions you have removed as well as on the partitions that are going to be formatted. The partition tables of the following devices are changed. SCSI 10 tab. Continue
We're
push
going to ignore
button.
that because...
Return.
Yeah.
Install frame.
So
Erase
now-
disk and install Linux Mint. Selected radio button.
We've got his
10%.
basic.
Panel.
Right, so
Tab. Text. New York. Select panel. Text. New back push up text. Look back. Continue back book text. New York. Selected. New York. Play. Left delete. Selection delete. L-O-N-D-O-N.
go for London.
Tab. Back push. Text. London's London. Tab. Back
So
push
this is
tab.
our time
Push
zone
button.
setting.
Return. 15%.
So now,
Your name. Text left control.
of course, my name.
Jordan. Tab. The name it uses left control. Left delete.
So
left control.
I'm gonna call this
Left shift L.
Linux
I-N-U-X. Left tab.
Mint
I-N-T.
because it's Linux Mint.
Tab. Pick a username. Text. Jordan selected.
It's already selected Jordan.
Tab. Choose a password. Password text.
Password, don't worry, it's not going to read it out.
Black circle. Confirm your password.
Confirm your password again.
Black circle. Require my password to log in.
Require my
Selected
password to
radio
log in.
button.
Yeah. Otherwise, I could just use auto login.
Tab. Encrypt my home folder.
Encrypt
Checkbox
my
not
home
checked.
folder if you want.
Tab. Continue push button.
And click continue.
0%. Return.
And just like that, Linux Mint will begin the install.
16%.
I'm going to go back over to the Mac and tell you what you're going to be doing next afterwards. So we're going to let that install.
Mic stop.
26%.
So as you can see, it's deleting the drive, and then it'll begin the install once it's all done and dusted. Now, since we didn't connect to the internet,
35%.
we're going to have to do it manually. And don't worry, it will install the Wi-Fi drivers that you need. As you can tell,
41%.
it detected my drivers. So it detected my Wi-Fi card.
50%.
So we're going to let it install, and then we're going to go over what we're going to do afterwards, over the next steps. I'm going to guide you through this because you're going to want to set Linux up the way you want it.
61%.
And if you're like me, and you live in the UK, you're going to want to change the time zone. So I'm going to show you how to do that, because it's pretty easy to do.
67%.
So about our installation of Linux Mint, it's still
71%.
deleting data off the drive. Now, here's another reason why I love Linux Mint. I have tried Linux Mint before, I've experienced it, and Linux Mint, for a blind person,
74%.
it is brilliant. It is really, really brilliant. Of course, it uses GNOME Orca, of course, which is expected because Mate is based on GNOME, or Mate.
77%.
It's really good for if you're switching to Windows. It's very lightweight. It doesn't install bloatware, which Ubuntu does, especially if you're going to install GNOME. Well, if you're installing
81%.
the standard version of Ubuntu. What we went and did is downloaded the Mate edition of Mate edition of Linux Mint. So if you were to get something like Cinnamon edition,
85%.
you'd be struggling big time. Unless you were sighted and you were able to install the Cinnamon edition of Linux Mint. But since I prefer the Mate desktop, it's really accessible.
87%.
Linux Mint's got a big community anyway, and it's very popular. So we're going to wait for that to do the install. Okay, so our install is at 100%. Well, not really, not the install, but the formatting. It's going to get on with the installation. Now this could take a while, but with Linux Mint, I've had it take at least 15 minutes. I mean, if needs be, I can get a keyboard out and we can listen to a few songs. But with Linux Mint, you can review what's going on during the installation, which is pretty decent, if you ask me.
1%.
And here we go, it's starting the installation. So not only will you hear it speaking to you, but occasionally, if it doesn't speak to you, it'll beep to let you know it is working on the installation. So we just formatted the partition with Ubuntu on it. And we're replacing that Ubuntu with Linux Mint. There we go, it's gone up to 11%. I told you it's really quick. So don't worry, I'm going to show you how to set up Wi-Fi
24%.
once we've booted into our Linux Mint install. So that's going to begin the install. Well, it already has done. It's writing to our drive, of course. But once we're all installed, I'm going to take you through the next few steps. Oh, by the way, if you're trying to install it on a virtual machine, forget it. You can't do it on VirtualBox that easily unless you download some special stuff. You can run the live environment in a VM in a virtual machine, but you can't. I've had trouble installing because it wants to look for Wi-Fi networks, but it just can't while it's in a VM. A lot of Linux distros I know don't like it with when you're using virtual machines. Ubuntu is alright with it, mainly because it's using GNOME. It's the Mate-based distros that use the Mate desktop environment. Remember, we can always check our Linux Mint installation by pressing the keypad plus button. I'm going to go ahead and do that just to make sure that we're good to go.
67%.
Oh wait, there we go. We're up and running. We're still good. So that's on 67%. You can tell the installation is going quickly because Linux Mint didn't connect to the internet, for one thing. It couldn't install the codecs, although those are included in the drivers anyway, so we can go ahead and install those if we need to. Well, in fact, we'll do that once we're connected to the internet and we've sorted ourselves out.
71%.
So while that's installing, and because it's in the 70s, it shouldn't take so long. Linux Mint is sort of like Linux in a way, and how quick that installs. But Linux is outdated and is full of bugs, and cannot be installed on UEFI-based systems. Linux Mint, on the other hand, can.
73%. 77%. 79%.
Whatever you do, don't turn on secure boot, because
81%.
you just won't be allowed to boot into any other operating system,
83%.
whether it be Ubuntu and all that.
%.
So the installation is taking its time. It's a lot quicker than the accessible Coconut install, that's for sure.
85%.
And in most cases, the installation is simple as well.
87%. 88%.
And there we go. We're still good.
89%. 90%. 100%. Installation complete. Dialog installation has finished. You can continue testing Linux Mint now, but until you restart the computer, any changes you make or documents you save will not be preserved. Restart now push button.
Okay, so
Let's stop record.
our install has done. So don't take out the USB. It's still live and still active. But our hard drive is sorted, so we're gonna click restart now.
Tab. Complete restart now for return.
And now give it a few secs. And now we remove the USB. Now this way, press Ctrl and Delete to restart. This is taking a while as it's loading our Linux Mint. You may want to turn on our screen reader. So we give it some time. There we go. By the way, if things were taking ages for you, you can skip ahead with the right arrow key. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my Linux Mint system. We're in the login screen. And it should log us in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn up the sound. Okay, so we're logged into our Linux Mint. What I'm going to do is turn it up pretty quick, as you can on Linux Mint.
Tab. Escape.
Let's check we're working.
Frame.
Yeah,
Text.
we're in a working environment.
Escape. Welcome frame. List with 5 items.
So when you start
Right
Linux Mint for
control.
the first time, you're in the welcome dialog. So I'm going to tab through this.
Tab. First steps.
So there's our
Tab.
first steps.
Documentation.
Documentation.
Tab. Help. Tab.
Help.
Contribute. Tab.
Contribute.
Scroll pane. Tab.
And our scroll
Show
pane.
this dialog at startup. Checkbox checked.
I'm going to
Space.
untick
Not
that.
checked. Tab. List with 5 tab. Scroll pane. List pep doc. Third well. Show this scroll list with show this scroll list. Show scroll list with 5 items. Left
We're going to
alt.
close out of that.
Desktop. Icon left control.
Right. Our next important thing to be doing is sorting out our Wi-Fi. And if your Wi-Fi card isn't working, then what you want to do is insert the bootable media again, and then go to the driver manager. Hopefully we don't need to do that. So to get to your panels, you press
left. Bottom panel.
There we go.
Bottom panel frame.
Control.
Firefox web browser. Browse the World Wide Web push button.
Control Alt and Tab.
Web browser.
So
browser file browser. Browse
we
the
want
tab.
to get into our notification
tab.
area.
Panel notification area panel. Blank. Blank.
If I can get in, if I remember
blank.
how to do it.
Dash.
Let's turn off.
Leaving flat review.
Turn off
blank.
flat review.
Tab. Blank. Blank. Tab. Primer 5. 7. Click to view month calendar. Not. Click to view.
Trying to remember how to get to the internet.
Not press.
Connections.
Not press tab. Click to tab. Show desk tab. Bottom tab. Terminal use the file browser. Browse the browser. Browse the show panel. Symbol 0. Linux Mint 20.1 oolissa.
There we go. Our Linux Mint 20.1 oolissa.
Left primer panel. Bluetooth is disabled.
Bluetooth is disabled.
Not pressed. Laptop battery is fully charged. Not some system report. Not welcome to the update manager. Not no network connection.
No network connection. We want to left click on this, or right click, whichever way you prefer.
/ menu. BT Hub 5GN5N.
Oh look,
84%.
it's found
secure.
Me, it's
right
found
control.
Me, it's found me Wi-Fi network. So what I'm going to do is connect.
Return. Tab. BT Hub 5GN5N. 84% return. BT Hub Beat Wi-Fi. BT Hub 5 tab. Space. Show password. Check
there we go.
Password.
Now I can type in my Wi-Fi password.
Bullet. Show pass tab. Cancel tab. Connect push button. Return. Desktop. Icon view.
Connect. So we let that connect. Sometimes it'll give you a notification it connected, sometimes it won't. But once you've done all that,
tab. Computer icon. Jordan's phone. Left control.
Let's check our connection
left.
by going into
menu. Left accessories menu. Graphic internet Firefox web return.
Let's go into Firefox.
Desktop. Computer icon.
Because we can always check if we have internet from Firefox. So we'll wait for that to open. Shouldn't take a long time. Hopefully not. Because we've just installed Linux Mint.
Start page, Linux Mint, Mozilla Firefox frame, Linux Mint link, finished loading start page, Linux Mint. Page has one left control.
Custom Linux Mint start page.
List with set, leaving list, entry. Search push up, list with web. Advanced search link, left control.
Let's just make sure we've got internet.
Search left control, LINUX, return. Alert. Did you mean to go to http Linux Mint / search with Yahoo or enter address editable combo box http left Linux Mint Yahoo search left control.
Oh, we do have internet. Let's try it. Let's just double check that.
So left control.
So let's go to tesco.com.
Return. Search with Yahoo or enter address editable combo box www.tesco.com. Loading. Please wait. Linux Mint Yahoo. Finished loading Tesco supermarket right control.
We've got internet. We've given a ping to Tesco using Firefox. And now we can do our next step. Let me make sure I'm recording.
Left control.
Before we go over some detailed steps, before we can actually use this Linux Mint system. Okay, so we're connected to the internet now.
Mike, stop.
What else do you need to do? Well, we need to make sure that we've got the right time. Because if you remember, it didn't set us up. So, what time is it now?
7:44:37 a.m.
That's not the right time. My watch is displaying. Okay, so it's 12:44. So now what you want to do is
left control.
go into the search bar.
i.e.
Time.
celluloid play movies and with favorite. Install multi-week time and date change system time, date, and time zone push button.
Okay, time and date.
Return desktop.
Press enter on this.
Computer icon. Time and date settings dialog.
Okay, so we're in our time and date settings. So
Tab. Help, pull, close, pull, lock, push, help, close, lock, push, help, lock, pull, left, control.
we're going to click the lock to make changes.
Return. Authenticate dialog. You need to authenticate to modify the system configuration and application is a pull it. Pull it.
Typing the password.
Time and date settings dialog. Lock push button.
Okay, so we want to go for Europe.
Tab. Close tab.
/UK.
America /new underscore your push keep menu keep. Tab. Help
At the
keep
moment it's
America
set to
/new
America.
underscore your push button. Close push tab. America /new tab. Keep synchronized with tab. Help tab. Lock tab.
If I remember
Close
how to
tab.
do this.
America /new underscore your push button.
There we
Space.
go. We can
Time zone dialog. Time zone.
we can pick from a list of time zones if we click that button.
Tab. Selection panel.
Okay, so we want Europe.
America E. America.
And the only thing that'll... Well, I'm afraid we'll have to navigate until we get to the one we want. We're nearly there.
Asia/Pyongyang. Asia/Type 8.
We're there. We're going to go through our Europe. We're nearly at Europe.
Asia/Australia. Atlantic.
So we've got Australia.
Australia/Earth dot. Europe/Andorra dot.
I've always wanted to go to Australia, just saying.
Europe/Astra.
Okay, so let's look for our...
Europe/Belgrade. Europe/Berlin dot.
Let's look for our...
Europe/Bratislava. Europe/Brussels. Europe/Bucharest. Europe/Budapest. Europe/Usingen. Europe/Chisinau. Europe/Copenhagen. Europe/Dublin. Europe/Gibraltar. Europe/Dublin dot. Europe/Gibraltar.
We
Right
want
control.
Europe/London.
Europe/Guernsey. Europe/Helsinki. Europe/Ireland. Europe/Istanbul. Europe/Jersey dot. Europe/Kayla. Europe/Kiev. Europe/Kirov. Europe/Lisbon. Europe/Ljubljana. Europe/London dot.
Okay, so here we go, London. So now...
Tab. Close push button tab. Time zone panel. World map image. Tab. Selection tab. Close push return.
Close that.
Time and date settings dialog. Europe/London tab. Keep synchronized with internet servers combo box.
Keep synchronized with internet servers. Expand this combo box by pressing space.
Time and date set manual. Keep synchronized with internet servers. Tab.
Yep, keep synchronized with
Return.
internet servers.
Keep synchro tab. Help put tab. Lock push tab. Close push button. Tab. Europe/left close push button. Return. Desktop. Left control.
Okay, so we should have fixed that. So
7:48 for left control.
our time is wrong. So it doesn't tell you this, but what you need to do is restart the system. So we're going to
Left
go ahead and...
desktop. Alert. Shut down. Can't restart left control.
So we click restart.
Return.
And the next time we log in, our time zone will change to London. And then after that, we've just got a few things to take care of. Additional drivers and our media codecs. And then congratulations, you've set up your Linux Mint machine. We just make sure it's restarting. So we're waiting for it. So all that's left to do now is install the media codecs. And thankfully, Mint's got a shortcut for you to do just that. So you don't have to worry about not having those codecs handy. We've taken care of our internet connection problems, and we should have the right time when we log in.
Screen reader on. Login screen frame.
So I'm going to log in.
Bullet.
Log into our Linux Mint system. By the way, if you want to turn on the login sound, I'll show you how to do that. But I'm not. If I remember how to do it.
Screen reader on.
So now let's check our time. We should. No, we'll go into our applications.
Menu.
No, actually, I'm not going to show you how to do the login screen because it'll take a while, and I don't want you trying to break your Linux Mint systems.
Escape.
So let me go into our search.
Frame.
There we
Text.
go.
12:57 p.m.
And there we go. We've got the right time now. We've set our time zone correctly. So now
Escape desktop left control.
the final thing you want to do is
Frame left
install
control.
media codecs, and then once we're done, we can finally start using this system.
COD. Install multimedia codec return
Yeah.
desktop.
Install
Icon
media
view.
codecs. Now that we've got internet, we can go ahead and install these.
Mint metacodecs dialog. Install additional software. Do you want to install package Mint metacodecs? Cancel push button. Tab. Install push button. Return. Desktop. Icon view.
Okay, that'll begin the install of those, hopefully.
Tab.
Oh,
Left.
no, I
Desktop.
didn't do it
Frame
right.
left
Let's
control.
try that again.
CODE. Text. Code select. Install multimedia codecs. Add all the missing multimedia return
Add all
desktop.
the
Icon view.
add the missing codecs. We're going to do this again.
Mint metacodecs dialog. Install additional software. Do you want to install tab? Install push button.
You want to press space for this.
Space. Error alert. Cannot install Mint metacodecs. Unable to correct problems. You have held broken packages. Close push button. Return. Desktop. Icon view.
So what packages are broken then? Let's check those out.
Jordan at side left control.
We can try this through terminal. Do we have internet?
G. L. C. Return. Ping www.google.com 177.217.20.132 bytes of data. 64 bytes from 07s 27 in F132.1E 100.net 172.217.20.132 ICMP underscore sec equals 1 TTL equals 116 time equals 16 for right control.
Okay.
64 bytes from left control. 60 S64 escape. 64 byte left. Close terminal book cancel. Close return. Desktop. Icon left control.
And let's try reinstalling the
left
codecs.
Desktop. Jordan at sign Linux min left control. D O space D dash E D A dash C O D X S. Return. Sudo left. Return. Reading package lists 0%. Done. Building dependency tree 0%. Building dependency tree reading state information done. Some packages could not be installed. This may mean that you have requested an impossible situation, or if you are using the unstable distribution that some required packages have not yet been created or been moved out of incoming. The following information may help to resolve the situation. The following packages have unmet dependencies. Mint metacodecs. Depends. Libcodec codec extra, but it is not going to be installed. E. Unable to correct problems. You have held broken packages. Jordan at sign left control.
We can always try it with the USB installer. And this is why I suggest you keep hold of this. So let's plug in the USB. Hopefully we can install it from there. And if we don't have internet, okay, let's try again.
Left control D O C O D E. Text. Install multimedia codecs. Add all the missing multimedia codecs. Push the return. Jordan at sign Linux Mint. Mint meta codecs. Dialog. Install additional software. Do you want? Install push plus space. Error alert. Cannot install Mint meta tab. Escape. Jordan apps left control.
Okay, first thing you want to do. This is really common.
Left desktop. Desktop left bottom panel. Bottom panel left
Check
control.
our internet again.
Tab. Window list panel tab. Writable toggle button not tab. Panel notification area panel. Blank. Tab. Tab. Frame archive tab. Click to view tab. Show desk tab. Bottom browser browse tab. Terminal user tab. Firefox web tab. Window list tab. Writable toggle tab. Panel notification tab. Panel. Bluetooth is not laptop not Suns is not welcome to not Wi-Fi network connection BT per 5GN5N active. BT per 5GN5N 70% not press output 100. Escape.
Okay, so
Left control. Jordan at sign Linux Mint. Tilde frame. Jordan at left control. U D space space V L C. Left delete. Escape.
okay, so since we can't get the codecs,
Left Jordan at Linux Mint. Till left delete. Left control.
I'm going to show you how to install your favorite programs using terminal. So let's say we want to get VLC Media Player. So I'm going to go ahead and type sudo
O space
apt
space
install
space
VLC.
C return. Reading package lists 0%. Reading package lists done. Building dependency tree 0%. Building dependency tree reading state information done. The following additional packages will be installed. Libre 52-0.7 Bright control. Y return 0% working. Get :1 http archive.ubuntu.com/left control. Selecting previously unselected package Libre 52-0.7 left control. S 3% hash. Preparing to unpack /0 freely basic usage environment 1 left control. Hash 10% left control.
You don't want to hear all
hash,
that,
hash,
just
hash.
keep pressing
Press
control.
left shift 4% hash 14% hash 16% left control hash 19% hash progress 20% left control hash left control hash 25% hash 7% hash 27 right
So that's still
control
installing VLC.
3% hash right control 5% right control hash 39% hash left control hash left control 4% hash left control percent hash 45% left control SS 48% hash.
Okay, so while that's installing, we're going to turn off the key
Screen
echo.
reader preferences dialog. Voice, speech, braille, key echo page tab. Enable key echo checkbox checked.
Which we don't want to enable, so we're turning that off.
Not check tab. Enable echo by character checkbox.
Enable
not
echo
checked.
by character, yes.
Check tab. Enable echo by word.
Yeah.
Checked. Key echo OK for return.
And that's
Screen
sorted.
reader settings reloaded.
So
Jordan at sign Linux
is
Mint.
our
Tilde frame. New line. Hash 9 number 69% 2.
VLC does take a while to install,
3% 4.
but it's nearly done.
5%. 6%. 7. 8%. 9.
I know, eSpeed.
80%.
This is an issue with eSpeed.
5%. 7%. 90. 2%. 6.
Okay, that's over. It's just processing triggers. So we've just installed VLC. So about the Mint Meta Codex is, if I remember rightly, you have to
8% #######. 9. Jordan at Silent.
you have to update. If anyone in the Linux Mint community can help me with this, then much appreciated. But we're going to type in sudo apt update.
0% working. Get :1 http archive.canonical.com/ubuntu focal in release 12.1 kb 0% waiting for headers. Connecting to archive.ubuntu.com 91.189.88.152 co 0% connecting to archive.ubuntu.com 2001 1360 8001 23 waiting for key 0% free release 1233b/24.1 kb 5% connecting to archive.ubuntu.com 2001.
Hopefully, we should be able to install the codex now. Okay,
frame.
so
Text code select install multimedia code and add all the missing. Jordan at sign Linux Mint Mint Meta Code install book. Updating cache dialog.
there we go.
Cancel push button 2%.
So it's updating the cache. We're getting somewhere now.
Jordan at sign Linux dialog. Additional software has to be removed. Please take a look at the list of changes below. 15.5 MB will be downloaded in total. 27.2 MB more disk space will be used. Libert code and fit cancel continue push button.
So we're going to click continue.
Jordan at sign lib authenticate dialog.
Standard administrator controls.
Installing packages dialog. Cancel push button. 27%.
And it'll begin installing the codex. Oh yeah, we didn't even turn on our beep for progress bar updates.
52%.
We'll do that once it's installed. That's no biggie at all. So we've just learned how to install an app through terminal.
55%.
But once these codecs are installed, we've got a fully stocked out Linux Mint system.
56%.
Now, just to let you know that if you want to install Linux Mint, it's going to take a lot of patience.
60%.
And you won't even be able to use your system until you set all this up correctly. But once you're all set up, your Linux Mint system is ready.
63%.
So once the software manager has done installing, it's going to close it on its own anyway, which is pretty nice. I'm going to make sure I'm still recording.
67%.
Switch to stop recording button. You are currently
70%.
So that's still installed. That's still taking care of the installation. We're going to let it do that.
72%. 79%. 88%.
So that is still doing the install.
Jordan at sign Linux Mint.
And there we go.
Jordan at.
We're in terminal. We're back in terminal. We have successfully installed the codex. So now all that's left to do is navigate through our applications. So let's make sure we're on the desktop.
Jordan at sign.
Close everything on.
Icon view.
Okay, so we're on the desktop. First things first, we're going to
Screen read. Keyboard progress bar updates. Braille beep updates. Checkbox not checked.
I want to check that.
Frequency, restrict, mouse, speak up, time and date for say all, enable structure, announce lock, quote, announce forms, announce and, announce list, announce map, announce, say all, back, profile load, save and remove, start, help, apply, cancel, okay, general page, voice page, speech page, enable speak, velocity, punctuate, spoken context panel, punctuation level panel, all, Verbs are non.
No
Spoken
punctuation.
speak blank lines, speak indentate, speak misspelled, speak object, speak child, speak tutorial messages, checkbox not checked.
I want to speak that.
Speak child position, checkbox not checked.
Yeah.
Checked. Speak open. Speak OK cancelled. OK push button. Screen reader settings reloaded. Writable frame. Icon view.
Alright, so we're in our USB stick, which currently has the Linux Mint installation media on it, and it's got a writable partition. Now that we've sorted out our Linux Mint system, it's all ready for us to use. We've stocked it up with everything we need. So now all that's left to do is go through the installed programs that we've got. And it's just like we did in Accessible Coconut. So here we go, applications.
Menu. Accessories menu. 1 of 11. Accessories. Graphic accessories menu. 1 of 11.
Here's our accessories we've got.
Archive manager.
Archive
1 of
manager.
8. Calculator. Character map. Color selection dialog. Dictionary. Discs. Document viewer. Note. Image viewer. Mate font viewer. Onboard. Redshift. Search tool. Take screenshot. Text editor. USB image writer. USB stick formatter. 70 of 18.
Again, the all important software that everyone should have on their Linux distro.
Warpinator. 80 of 18.
And Warpinator, that allows you to share stuff with computers that are also using Linux Mint. Pretty sweet.
Archive manager. Access graphics menu. 2 of 11.
So in graphics, we have the following applications.
Document scanner, drawing, pics. Document scanner, drawing, pics.
Just
3
those
of
three.
graphic internet menu.
And for
3
our
of 11.
internet, we've got
Firefox web browser, text chat, Thunderbird mail, transmission, web apps. Firefox web browser.
Linux Mint allows you to create web apps, which is quite nice.
Internet Office menu. 4 of 11.
For Office, we've got
LibreOffice, LibreOffice Base, LibreOffice Calc, LibreOffice Draw, LibreOffice Impress, LibreOffice Math, LibreOffice Writer, LibreOffice.
the
1
full
of 7.
the full LibreOffice suite.
Office sound and video menu.
And
5 of 11.
for our sound and video, we've got
Celluloid, Hypnotics, Rhythmbox, Sound, VLC Media Player.
and
5
of course
of 5.
we've installed VLC, so that doesn't come by default. I don't know. Hypnotics is basically a TV streaming service. It's free, but you can only stream free TV shows.
Sound System Tools menu. 6 of 11.
System Tools gives us these.
Disk Usage Analyzer, File Browser, Log File Viewer, Power Statistics, System Monitor, Terminal, Time Shift, Disk Usage Analyzer, File Browser. 2 of 7. System Places menu. 7 of System menu. 8 of
So
11.
system menu.
Preferences menu. Administration menu. Control Center. Help. About Mate. Preferences menu. Hardware menu. Internet and network menu. Look and feel menu. Personal menu. Hardware menu. Internet and look and feel menu. 3 of 4. Preferences menu. 1 of 5. Look and feel menu. 3 of.
Okay, that's just about it.
Icon view.
So if you don't want to use this rescue media anymore, we're going to go ahead to the USB stick formatter.
Writer, frame, USB image writer, USB stick formatter, USB stick push button.
Which we're going to do.
Writable frame, USB stick formatter frame. Select a USB stick combo, FAT32. Select a Kingston data, FAT32 combo
Yeah,
box.
I want to use
1 of 4.
FAT32.
Text. USB stick
I'm going to call it
selected.
Macintosh.
Selection, capital, close push button, format book, US, authenticate dialog, USB image writer frame. 1 dialog, the USB stick was formatted successfully. OK push button.
Okay, so we've formatted our USB.
100% USB / FAT32 text, close push button, desktop, icon view.
Okay, so all our Linux Mint is sorted. Feel free to install any apps you want, like Dropbox or whatnot. If you don't have Dropbox, then you don't need to install it. But you can install Chrome if you want to use it, or you can get Chromium. Personally, I recommend Chrome though, because Chromium is unstable.
Switch stop record.
That may have been a long one. Anyway, that was my Linux Mint installation video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you've managed to install Linux Mint properly in the comments. Anyway, this is Jordan signing off, saying have a good day everyone, and have a good weekend too.